Hey up YouTube, something a bit different today. Today we are going, or I am going, to go get some manure, some alpaca manure. Now I've been using this stuff for nearly 12 months, and the results are encouraging at the moment. The stuff that's got alpaca manure used as a mulch or as a base or as some feed for the plants to get to, that stuff. The top growth is encouraging. The growth on it is a lot better than the stuff that's in source. I'm going to go collect it and then we'll talk about it down on the plot. See you in a bit. Right, hey up YouTube. So yeah, you saw me talk about what I was doing today, about going to pick up some alpaca manure and things like that. Sort of trying to work in between the rain is proving a little fruitful at the moment, but we are getting there. Where did that come from? Marcus, did you leave a 22mm spanner down here, or is this mine that I didn't realise I had? Sorry, getting sidetracked. So yeah, I got asked a few times last year about manures and my use of alpaca manure. The reason I use alpaca manure is because it's very kindly given to me by the ladies that have the alpaca, and it's bagged. Now I have a family bus, not a van, not a serviceable trailer anyway. So I don't have the ability to go get trailerfuls of horse muck from a horse manure farm. Although even if I could, with the amount of alpaca manure I can actually get, especially through winter when people aren't wanting it from them, I'm not sure I would use horse manure. The main reason being with the alpaca manure is an alpaca, similar to a cow, has 2, maybe 3 stomachs. I can't remember how many. Which means you get a lot lower amount of seeds surviving the digestive process, unlike with horse manure. Couch grass, mare's tail, things like that can all survive the digestive process. Llamas, it still does, there is still a percentage, but it is a lot lower than horse manure. Now obviously there are other options out there. There are cow manure, there is pig manure, things like that, all very usable, very stable if you can get your hands on it. I use alpaca because it's what I can get my hands on quite easily, and like I said, the ladies very kindly, it's all bagged up ready for me to collect. They've generally got more than I need or more than I can carry. So what I'm going to do with it today, because I'm starting to build my stockpile up for my double dig. I'm going to try and double dig this winter, so I'm starting to build my stockpile up. But what I need to do with it today is I need to mulch around the bottom of the chili plants in the greenhouse, because those of you that have been viewers for a little while will know that in actual fact the greenhouse, as far as I was concerned, was going to go over winter this year. I wasn't going to have a greenhouse anymore, in the hope that the polytunnel build was done. Now obviously the polytunnel build isn't done, although it has now officially started. And the missus said to me, she says, no, she says, keep the greenhouse. She says, because we put a lot of effort into making that soil nice and things like that. Which meant I kind of missed a trick through winter by normally what I do is I put down a load of cardboard and put manure on top of it and just keep it wet through winter. By normally actually taking the roof glass out. But this year I didn't do it because I wasn't intending on using the greenhouse again. So I've put the chilies in. I've noticed the chilies are starting to sort of yellow a little bit, which normally means that they're struggling with a nitrogen deficiency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mulch around the bottom of them with the alpaca manure. They got a grow more feed a couple of days ago, so hopefully that'll tide them over until this starts to break down and gets down into the soil. Because the other thing about the alpaca manure is you can use it fresh. It doesn't have to be rotted down. You can use it straight away. In actual fact, if you wanted to, you could sow seeds straight in it. You could put You can pot plants straight into it if you wanted to. It's a bit stinky. I wouldn't use it as a house plant, but you know, it's an option. So that's sort of the other reason I do it. So you're not going to nitrogen burn your roots, you're not going to nitrogen burn your plants, because it's a slow release. But it's not only a slow release, the nutrients are readily available from straight away. It doesn't have a process of needing to break down. So that's what I'm going to get done. That's why I use alpaca manure, and that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. So yeah, you're going to see me now mulching out in the greenhouse, but I need to weed it first, and then I'm going to mulch it out, and then I'm going to get off home because the weather's crap. Finally the weather has broken. I say the weather's crap, they're not. The weather is actually good. We want the rain, but it does make things a little difficult for going out on the plot. Hopefully we're going to get a period of dry-ish in the week, and I can come down and hoe off all the weeds, because you need to be aware that with these rains comes vigorous growth of your fruits and veg, but also of the weeds. So you need to be keeping on top of them at this time of year, otherwise it will very quickly run away with you. So anyway, I'll see you out there in a minute. and there we go. See, I mean, in real time, guys, that job, including getting tools out of the shed and things like that, has taken me 13 minutes. That's the alpaca manure. Hopefully that's in frame. Yeah, I could have done a better job mulching, but you know what, it's only a quick job. I'm just going to water it all in now, and let Mother Nature take care of the rest. So it's high nitrogen, high potassium and high calcium, depending obviously on what the alpacas have been eating. But these guys, the alpacas that I get this from, oh excuse me, let me stand up because kneeling down is quite uncomfortable. The alpacas that I get this from, they are fed on a supplementary feed, as well as they're out to graze as much as possible. So you know, they've got the best of both worlds, really. Now obviously, as we've just gone through winter and lockdown and things like that, this is probably largely feed based manure, but the ladies, I believe, do use an organic manure, an organic feed as much as possible, as well as sort of table scraps. And if they can be out in the field, they are definitely always out in the fields, in the pastures. I see them regularly. So yeah, this stuff really is black gold. You'll see, obviously, as the year goes on, I'll show you the progress in here and the difference hopefully it will make. But I'm just going to water all this now, dampen it all down, help encourage the worms and things to come up and break this up, because the irrigation is too direct. It won't take us enough of it down, and it won't sort of indicate to the soil permaculture that you know, you need to come up and grab all this stuff. So I'll go get a can of water. I'll be right back. Oh, and the other good thing about the alpaca manure, provided this is a smell you can tolerate, it doesn't stink like horse manure does. It just smells a bit, how do I put it, a bit barnyardy. Doesn't smell of poo. If that makes any sense at all, I don't know. So this is only a quick rinse to sort of, like I said, to activate a bit of the soil permaculture, because the irrigation is great. It gives the plants, especially the chili plants, no more than they need. But it is a very direct watering system, so the rest of the soil is actually quite dry. I'm going to change things up in here next year. I'm going to take an idea from, I've seen it from Dean on Dean's Lost the Plot, and on Tony C. Smith, where they have pots in the ground. Now I've got access to some pipeline, so I'm going to have some pipeline which is going to raise the plants up a little bit, which means that they can be in compost, but they can go down into the rich earth underneath if needs be. But that's a video for another day. So guys, that's it from me down on the plot today. So it is a short one. I'm going to do a plot tour probably next week. I'm just going to go harvest some broad beans for today's Sunday dinner, and that's me done for today. So I'll see you later.